my good people, and welcome back again to our channel, where today we want to talk about abductions. We've been talking about it, and since one of the CS came yesterday to condemn these happenings, we are also here to look and expand and also to unearth the statement of this man, my good people. So remember, today we want to dive into Kenyan politics landscape, where we're discussing critical, controversial statement made by CS of Public Service Justin Muturi regarding the recent wave of abduction in our country, my good people. So regarding the recent goings, the government recently hired the international group to help them in PR stunts. And this may be also one of the PR stunts that the government decided to tell these CS, go and condemn these abductions, so that it will be seen that the government is also not part of it. But all you know that we know what's going on. CS say that the son was abducted sometime back. So sit back with me, my good people, and relax as we see exactly what is going on in our country. Let's start with some context. Kenya has recently seen an alarming increase in abduction, to be particular targeting young people and activists critical of criticizing the government. These incidents have raised significant attention, you see, from local, from our grandmother down there, our middle class, to the international level, my good people. Even you see yesterday, there's a lady who was abducted, the Tanzanian activist was abducted here in Kenya, and the UN representative in Kenya also raised concern because of the Amnesty International decided to say that this lady has been abducted in Kenya along Yaya Center, my good people. So Kenya is becoming a hub of abduction, something that has never been in Kenya, even though it used to be, but this time is very, very rampant, my good people. So let us just see what is going on, What is going on since anti-finance bill protests in June 2024. This abduction have primarily targeted youth, activists, and critics of the government. Muturi's personal involvement stemmed the abduction of his only son, or his own son, who was abducted during the maandamano. Amidst the promise, this which adds a layer of authenticity and agency of his critic. The son was abducted. He came yesterday and said, I've never received any statement. My son has never been taken into any court of law to say, this is what you did, and this is why you abducted, and you abducted by this group and this group, my good people. So Muturi's statement was delivered at a press conference in Nairobi yesterday, which was January 12, 2025, where he condemned the government in action and denial regarding this abduction. You see, this man is in the government and is a part and parcel of the current regime, where they sit, even today on a Monday, they are sitting somewhere with the president saying, this is how we are going to run this country in this week. But my good people, this man is also coming to our press conference to cry, just like the mother of Bill or mother of Tibet Bull was crying. So we are in a very, very bad situation, my good people, and we should be very, very safe in our happenings, because we don't know what is true and what is not true, my good people. Is highlighted and contradiction between the government promising during the election campaign to end such practices and current reality where abduction are continuing day in, day out. This has been something even human rights organization documenting over 40 abduction links to this protest, painting a grim picture of enforced disappearance where even under the current administration. So the previous administration, where these people, Muturi was there as a Speaker of the National Assembly, right now is also in the government. These are the same people who are there, and the same people who will always be there. And like Mr. James Orengo sometimes said during the Senate session, he said, government eats his own people. So, could it be that the government is right now eating his own people, or is just a PR stand from the international hired groups? Just sit back as we continue to unearth this statement of multi-faceted. He sharply criticized the security sector for not effectively intervening or acknowledging this abduction, despite them happening in public view. My good people, this thing is happening in a public view that everybody, even the kids, know right now that there is something known as abduction in our country. This is something that we used to see them in our neighboring country like Uganda, where the regime is full of dictatorship. So we are also diving into a dictatorship country, and even the government or the official and the people who are securing or who have been given mandate to secure us are crying in press conferences. This statement is not only a question of competence or if the security forces are weak, but also the government's integrity in safeguarding its citizens. You see, even we know the people say that they will start taking this abduction and controlling this abduction by themselves. But what did we had the DCI boss say? The DCI boss say that if you stop any security personnel trying to abduct youths, is an offense. And we also know that abduction is also an offense in our country. So laws, unlawful and unlawful acts, there's nothing that we are not in a multiplication where negative plus negative becomes positive. Negative and negative will always become negative, my good people. And I'm repeating, we are not in a situation where negative and negative become positive. No, negative if multiplied by negative is going to become negative, and this is not something that we were not taught in school. We are now serious with these things, and those things of multiplication are not going to work, my good people. You see, because it's saying that abduction should, if you see people abducting youth and decide to stop them, it's unlawful. And we also know that it is unlawful to abduct. So we are criticizing, and you can see the challenges. We further demand the national security reveal details about the victim of this abduction, challenging the government to be transparent about numbers of release and ongoing cases. My good people, the political implications here are significant. Muturi, who is a CS, by breaking ranks, either showing a fracture within the government unity or personal conviction to uphold justice, potentially risking his political standing. His call for national dialogue on this matter suggests an acknowledgement that this issue needs a collective and even a bipartisan solution, my good people. We need to come together and talk about it as we today are talking about it without any fear or favor or even contradiction. So this reaction from public, the reaction from the public seen in different platforms, which I'll be running in your screen down there and has been running, has been a mix of support, applause of his bravery, and about the fellow through. There is an urgency for action, not just words. We are past time for words because we know right now we are in few years, just some few days to election. The election around the corner, even if you know there's no development that is going on right now, Even the politicians that used to come after election, you cannot see them right now, because right now is a time to pocket money for political campaigns which are happening around the corner. You see? So, my good people, there is an agency action from civil society and human rights group who are long been advocating for change. The government response has been mixed. The DCI has called for Muturi to record a statement regarding his son's abduction, which might be seen as a move towards accountability or attempt to sugarcoat the public outcry. You see, my good people, that's why I told you the government recently hired the international PR company. So we might be talking about Justin Muturi right now, and kumbe it is something that has been choreographed and is a skit that they are all playing. They know their end, my good people. So as we move forward, however, there's also a significant silence from other government officials, which may indicate internal discord or strategic silence. That's what I'm saying. This might be some strategic move, so that we take our time to talk about Justin Muturi's boy or some son, and we forget about the real issue. You see? Even Muturi said that he is part of the security personnel, security committee in this country. You have to take time and think about these things, my good people. So Muturi's annual could lead to several outcomes. First, increase the pressure for investigation. His call made spur more thorough investigation into abduction. But I'm telling you, it may also be a PR stunt. Political shifts. This might be also some political games, because they know right now, as we speak, the kingpin for Mount Kenya is none other than Mr. Retired or former Deputy Gachagua. So, this Mr. Ruto may want to put Muturi as the political kingpin who is going to give Gachagua stretch in Mount Kenya. So he decided to say, okay, just go and say this, and people will start talking about it, and he will be seen as some good person who is also supporting or not, also fighting the government. But we know we are in a campaign season, and we must not play with things. If it's a true person, he should have come there yesterday with his resignation letter and resigned immediately and say, I'm not going to be this part of government where I'm a security personnel and my son is being abducted. So, as we're moving, we have also public trust. Depending on the follow-up action, public trust of government could either be rebuilt or further eroded. But we all know that there is no point that public trust will be rebuilt. We are in a point of no correction. Youth of our country have said enough is enough. So what happens next is critical. Will there be a national dialogue? Will there be a genuine effort to curb abduction, or just to speak for political rhetorics? Muturi's statement has set a stage for potential transformative change in Kenya public politics and human rights policy, but the proof will be in the action to follow. So as we conclude, my good people, Justin Muturi's statement has shifted the conversation around governance, human rights, and accountability in Kenya. You see, it's a moment where the nation watches closely to see if words will translate to action. And we know that This may also be some PR stunt, and we keep that. We Kenyans, we went to school and we are very, very clever. Not like some time back where someone can come somewhere and say, oh, and we take it like that. No. We know that so many things happen behind the curtain, my good people, and we don't take anything for a chance. So, my good people, as we conclude, thank you for being with us. You find all our episodes about abduction. I came with a very, very skit about abduction that you can watch in my videos so that we can remain vigilant. And for comment and suggestion, reach out to us, my good people, into our contact information. You can find it in our link. Remember, every voice contributes to the narrative of our nation. Stay engaged and stay informed, my good people. I was your host, DJ TJ, on the ones and twos. Thank you so much for watching.